Niners fans, I need your full attention right now because this is the part of the season where reality hits hard and comfort disappears. Everything up to this point has been build up. Everything from here forward decides what this team really is. And while a lot of fans feel confident, even relaxed, analysts around the league are quietly sounding alarms for one simple reason. The hardest stretch of the season has arrived, and it is coming at the exact moment when pressure matters most.
This is not panic. This is not negativity. This is reality. Right now, the 49ers are no longer playing teams that are figuring things out. They are playing teams that know exactly who they are. Desperate teams, playoff teams, and teams with nothing to lose. Those are the most dangerous opponents in football. Analysts are not focused on records anymore. They are focused on matchups, momentum, and margin for error. And when they look at San Francisco, they see a team entering a stretch where every weakness will be tested.
Here is the uncomfortable truth that fans need to hear. The 49ers do not have the luxury of coasting anymore. The schedule tightens, the pressure rises, and the consequences of a single bad quarter become massive.
Experts are pointing to strength of remaining opponents as a turning point, not because the 49ers are weak, but because the margin between elite teams is razor thin. One missed assignment, one protection breakdown, one turnover swing can flip an entire game, and suddenly, playoff positioning changes overnight.
This is what separates contenders from champions.
Analysts have been very clear about this. The upcoming stretch is not about talent. It is about execution discipline and mental toughness. The 49ers have the roster. Nobody questions that. What is being questioned quietly is whether they can maintain consistency under sustained pressure without lapses. Look at how games are being won and lost around the league right now. Not by blowouts, by late mistakes, by penalties, by missed reads, by protection breakdowns. That is the environment the 49ers are stepping into. Now let us talk about why this stretch feels more dangerous than fans realize. First, defensive intensity ramps up dramatically late in the season. Opposing coordinators have weeks of film. Tendencies are exposed, favorite concepts are studied. Nothing is a surprise anymore. If the 49ers lean too heavily on predictable sequencing, defenses will jump routes, clog lanes, and force uncomfortable throws. Second, physical wear and tear accumulates. Even if players are listed as healthy, everyone is dealing with something. Fatigue slows reaction time. Timing gets disrupted. This is when discipline matters most. Analysts often say championships are won by teams that make the fewest mistakes, not the most highlights. Third, emotional pressure increases. Every snap starts to feel heavier. Players know what is at stake. Coaches know what is at stake. That pressure can sharpen focus or cause hesitation. The teams that handle it best are the ones that simplify, execute, and trust preparation. Experts have pointed out something specific about San Francisco during this phase. When the offense stays on schedule, they look unstoppable. When they fall behind the chains, things tighten up. That is where defensive fronts get aggressive and force Brock Purdy to speed up his process. Not panic, just urgency.
That is why protection and early down success are being emphasized so heavily by analysts. This stretch will not forgive slow starts. Falling behind early against desperate teams is dangerous.
Now let us address the elephant in the room. Fans see talent and assume dominance. Analysts see matchups and see stress points. That difference in perspective is important. The 49ers' offensive line has held up well overall, but pressure rates have increased slightly in recent weeks. Not catastrophic, but noticeable. Defensive coordinators will test that relentlessly. Stunts, delayed blitzes, overload looks. The goal will be to make Purdy uncomfortable without selling out coverage. On the defensive side, missed tackles and gap discipline have shown up in flashes. Again, not a crisis, but enough for analysts to note. Late-season games magnify those mistakes because opponents are willing to grind and wait. This is why the schedule matters. Not because the 49ers cannot beat these teams, but because every opponent will force them to play clean football for a full game. No lapses, no casual drives, no mental breaks. One analyst put it perfectly. This is the stretch where good teams survive and great teams impose their will.
Now, here is the part fans need to really understand. Playoff seeding is fragile. One unexpected loss can move a team from home field comfort to a road gauntlet. That changes everything. Travel, crowd noise, weather, and recovery time all shift. Analysts are warning that the margin between top seeds and lower seeds is thinner than fans think.
That means every game from here on out is essentially a playoff rehearsal. Coaches will not experiment. They will lean into what works. Rotations will tighten. Stars will be leaned on. And that brings risk.
This is also where leadership matters most. Veterans set the tone. Communication becomes critical. When things go wrong, how fast does the team respond? Analysts are watching body language, sideline reactions, and in-game adjustments closely during this phase.
For Brock Purdy, this stretch is huge. Not because of stats, but because of command. Reading pressure, making quick decisions, protecting the football, and staying poised when defenses throw everything at him. Analysts know he can make the throws. They want to see how he manages chaos.
For Kyle Shanahan, this stretch is about balance, staying aggressive without becoming predictable, protecting his quarterback without shrinking the playbook, adjusting in real time when defenses take away the first option.
And for the defense, this is about identity. Fast, physical, disciplined football. Winning early downs, forcing third and long situations, and closing drives with authority. Here is the key takeaway. Analysts are not doubting the 49ers. They are warning them. There is a difference. This stretch is not forgiving. It demands precision.
Fans should not be scared. They should be locked in. This is what championship football feels like. Tension, pressure, and accountability, every snap.
If the 49ers handle this stretch well, it will silence every question and send a message to the rest of the league. If they stumble, the conversation changes fast.
That is why this moment matters.
So enjoy the games, but do not underestimate them. Respect the opponents, respect the grind, and understand that this stretch is not just another part of the season.
It is the season. If you want, I can also break down specific matchup dangers game by game or turn this into shorts that hammer the urgency message hard.